If you're like me, you've often probably wondered, what if dogs could play Minecraft? I wonder if we'd have similar interests. I think we would, but what about when it comes to building a house? What blocks would a dog prefer? So today, we're going to make things a little interesting. Instead of choosing the blocks to build a house myself and designing it myself, I'm going to use my dog to do this. So meet Mary. She is a dog, and she is going to choose our house for us today. Now obviously Mary can't speak English, but we're going to use her to answer my multiple choice questions. Our first question is, should we build in the overworld or should we build in the nether? So we've placed some treats down on these numbers here. We're using numbers instead of the answers so I can reuse them and save the environment by saving paper. But which answer is Mary going to choose? Oh, she's gone for the overworld. So it looks like we're staying here for now, which is nice. But here's the question. Are we going to be building this vanilla or modded? Mary, what do you think? What we're going to have? Oh, it looks like we're going to be modded. Now there's loads of different modded biome styles, but what style should we go for today? Should we go for number 1, a plains biome, number 2, a snowy biome, number 3, a desert biome, or number 4, an ocean biome? Well, it's up to Mary to decide, and she has chosen, the plains biome. Here in the slow motion replay, you can see she changed her mind last second. So here we are in the plains biome, a bit boring, but it's what the dog chose. But Mary, are we going to build a house or a castle? We ran out of treats, so now we're using cheese. What is it going to be? It's going to be a castle. Great choice, Mary. But how many floors should this castle have? This one's pretty straightforward. Is it 1, 2, 3, or 4 floors? Mary's made her mind up and she's chosen 3 floors. Now we need to choose what block we are building this castle out of. But we can't just use 4 numbers for this. So we had to improvise. We're going to count how many seconds Mary will hold my hand. And whatever number it is, we'll choose the item ID that matches the number. So if it's 15 seconds, it's iron ore. Let's find out how long she holds my hand for. So let's get the hand holding going. There we go, the timer begins. Now Mary loves having her paw held, so we're going to speed this up a little bit. And the final result in slow motion here as she lets go is 41 seconds. Now 41 is gold, a block of gold. Yay. Good choice, Mary. But we need a colour theme, so we're going to ask Mary to choose a colour. Now the only thing rainbow we had were these Allen keys, so I put a bit of cheese next to each one, and Mary has to choose her favourite colour. Let's let Mary in. What's she going to choose? Ooh, it's red. I guess it's time we get started on this gold and red castle then. Now we do have modded gold blocks, but I'm just going to stick the main block as just your regular block of gold. However, I may use some of these as well. Okay, this may not look completely terrible. Let's do a little bit of a time lapse. So I didn't want to cheap out and build some small 3-story castle. Instead, I've gone all in. So far, this has taken me an hour to build, and we've not even finished yet. We're not even close to finishing yet. As we've gone for a very weird looking castle. As you can see here, we've got sort of 4 turrets on either side, and then we've got this massive main building, which is kind of like a big turret in a way. Then we've also got some single floor buildings on the side which all link up through like the walls and stuff like that. And then on the other end of the big fat turret we have like a sort of weird gate room where there's like a little room above it as well, which is actually higher than the actual big fat turret you'll see there. I've also left space for a courtyard as we're going to put stuff in there as well. I think it'd look really nice. And of course, as our theme is red, we went for the red roof as well, which I think looks really cool as well. And I've also added red windowsills in underneath, and I'm getting decorating on this house. However, we still have a few questions we need to ask to Mary before we can even consider finishing this house, as there's just so many options we still need to ask her. And seeing as she is controlling this build and absolutely is instructing me what to do, we need to head to her now to ask an important question. What block should I use for the floor? Now by this time she'd had quite a few treats, so she was a little bit hyper, so she didn't hold my hand for much longer. In fact, she only held it for a total of 9 seconds. That's right, you'll see here she lets go. What block is number 9? Ah, it's water. I guess that'll work for the bottom floor, but the other floors we're gonna have to use the closest, which is unfortunately bedrock. Yike. So as we watch this little time lapse here, you can see me add in water on all of the ground floors, plus add some bedrock in on the other floors as well. Also add some torches to light it up because bedrock's quite dark. And now we have to ask the question to Mary, which is very important. And that question is, do we use glass blocks or do we use glass panes? Back to the cheese, and as you can see, Mary decides to go for glass panes. That's my girl. So adding furniture into this house was an interesting feat, as the floor is entirely water, which looks a bit weird with shaders when you speed it up, as you can see here. And you may be wondering, Joel, nothing's happening in this clip yet. That's because I'm going around adding in all the window panes, whereas now you'll see I start to add a few things. We've got some tables, some chairs. I had to put it on top of bedrock on the water, otherwise it would just float there and look really weird. And upstairs and downstairs as well, we added a load of stuff. We had the bedroom on the top floor, and then we had the other stuff on the middle floor, which was just sort of filler stuff, to be honest. I didn't really know what to put on anywhere. Oh look, we're clipping through the floor, how good. I guess we'll have to ask Mary what we're going to do next with this build. I have a feeling that she's got the answers. So hey Mary, should we have a farm? Very simple options here, yes or no. What's she going to choose? She's chosen yes. But do we want a barn with that farm? Should we have a barn, Mary? Yes, okay. So we have to build our barn, but of course we have our main block and our colour theme, so we've got to stick to that. So yes, I am building a gold barn right now. I tried to make it a suitable size for the castle, so it's quite big in comparison to the barns that I normally build, which meant there was actually too much space for animals, but don't worry, I did manage to fill it up in the end, and as I show you around this interesting build at the end, you will be able to see all the animals in all their glory. I also added an outside farm as well as some hay bales. We obviously need some farms for crops, but this is just the farm area. We need a garden of some sort, but what garden type should we build? Should we build a wild garden or should we build a nice, neat garden? Pretty garden or wild garden? Pretty or wild, Mary? She chose pretty garden. Okay, Mary. Now, I don't normally like building gardens this way, but seeing as Mary chose it, I'll have to make an exception. So rather than building this on the front or the back of the house, I decided to build it on one of the sides of the houses, as we just had a load of space on this side, and you just gotta make use of what you have. And when I think of posh, fancy gardens, I always think of big hedges and fountains and stuff like that. So that's exactly what I went for. Keeping to the red theme, however, we've got this big red fountain area going up and down with hedges all around it and everything just looking very fancy. We have like a chessboard on one side, you'll see me build in a second, plus we have just a little tree with some benches underneath it where people can sit round, lines of roses, everything you'd ever need. And to be honest, I think this castle is complete. Let's go have a look around. So the final product, this thing is a beast. Look how crazy big in size this thing is. We've got the barn over here, but let's start with the main entrance, which is this part here. We've got a little bit of a wilder garden at the front with these trees because the barn's over here. If we head in through the front door, we instantly fall down into water as that was our chosen floor. But we've got our starter area with our chests, furnaces, crafting table, which is red. A windowsill over here, plus a little carpet with the glowstone underneath, which normally, if this was some other sort of floor, wouldn't look so weird. But because the floor is made out of water, it looks a bit weird. We've got a little table over here where we can have all our guests that come round. Some bookshelves over here, which are floating, to be honest. And then if we travel around, we'll see some paintings. There's one of Buddy, another one of Buddy. Mary really likes Buddy. This room here is the gym. Now, there's no gym equipment in Minecraft, so I didn't put anything in here. Imagine just someone there just like, you know, pumping some iron or something like that. Over here we got another painting of a cute little dog. This is the grand archway where you can enter the castle if you wanted. Very nice, it takes you out into the main square. We'll get to that in a second. Over here, nice little bunny. And over this side we have the chest room where the chests are sort of floating above the water. We got lots of chests. Plenty of space for more chests to be added as well. Nice little painting of Mary's little family. Up the top here, we've got our enchanting area. Then you can also go out and look across your land. We've also got a couple of these little courtyards over here, which you can head out. It's just like a little quick passageway through if you wanted. But the main courtyard, we have some red water. This is actually blood. I just call it red water because I think blood sounds nasty. And you've got other entrances to the house over here. There's space for like just more gyms here, like more people pumping iron. This room up here is the imagination room. Now it's called the imagination room because you've got to imagine what's there. And at the moment there's nothing there. So imagine that it's filled with loads of cool stuff. whatever you can imagine, it's there. However, upstairs in the main house, we have our sort of landing floor here where we've got some like music and a diamond sword in an item frame, plus some more diamond swords over here, and our tools, plus this lovely carpet here. Up the stairs, we have our bedroom with our bed, some bookshelves, armor stand, more bookshelves, and more bookshelves next to a seat so you can sit down and read, and more armor stand, more bookshelves, and some fairy lights as well. And we have our massive window, which I tried to make look like Mary, especially if you look through from this angle, you can kind of see the eyes with those two other windows and the mouth with the ledge. But it also looks like a love heart, so that's kind of nice, isn't it? Our entrance to our garden is over here next to the gym. We head out, and look how beautiful it looks out here. We've got our chessboard with all the roses and nice flowers around, more rose bushes, these reddish trees with the fairy lights. We'd have fish swimming in this pond up and down. It'd be beautiful. Our nice little bench next to our tree here as well. Plus, at the back, we have some more nice, cute pink trees. Our farm area is looking luscious with all our different crops, and the barn. Inside, we've got plenty of space for our rainbow animals, some chickens, our pigs, our other chickens, our just normal sheep, and our cows as well. Loads of space for them to have a fun time. And there it is. The house inspired by my dog, Mary. Imagine if the colours weren't hideous. This could be quite a cool build, but they are hideous. But thank you, Mary, for the inspiration.
Who's been a good girl? Is it you? Is it you?
That's it for this video though, guys. Make sure to leave a like and a comment if you did enjoy it. And if you've got any other ideas like this, let me know in those comments down below. And I shall speak to you another time. Goodbye.